Chapter 21. Going to the bathroom at school just plain sucks. I have to be taken out of my chair, lifted onto the toilet, and held there so I don't fall. Then someone has to wipe me when I'm finished. It's not so bad when it's mom, but it's awful when a classroom aide has to do it. She is required by law to wear plastic gloves. I guess just in case I have some kind of infection or disease. It's completely embarrassing. I don't usually have to go first thing in the morning, but I'm so nervous on Tuesday, I asked to be taken twice. Then I go to all my inclusion classes. The students who tried out for the quiz team can't stop chatting about the test. I listen to every word. I couldn't believe how easy it was, Connor boasts. I bet I got a higher score than you did, Claire says, her voice cocky. I thought that geography questions were off the map, Rose adds. I never even heard of some of those countries. Jessica shakes her head. The math part wasn't much fun either. I can't believe we even care about a dumb test for a quiz team, Rodney comments. Because the competition is on television, man, Connor replies. Big time TV coverage here in town, and if we make the finals, we go to DC, where it will be televised all over the country. If we win, we get to be on Good Morning America. My grandma in Philly can watch me, and my auntie in Frisco. I'll be famous. What do you mean, if we win, Connor? Claire asks him. Don't you mean when we stomp the competition? Yeah, for sure. I already bought a new suit for when I'm on TV. Rose rolls her eyes. I thought this was a team contest, Connor. She reminds him. Hey, the team would be nothing without me. He holds his hand up in the air for high fives. I listen quietly from the back of the room. When the bell rings to indicate that it's time for Mr. Deming's class, my palms feel sweaty. Catherine pushes me into the room and whispers into my ear. Relax, you rock. Mr. Deming gets the class quiet and takes attendance. Why do teachers go so slowly when you want something from them? Finally, he removes a sheet of paper from his briefcase. I graded your quiz team tests last night, and since many of those who tried out for the competition team are in this class, I'm going to share the results with you now. The teachers of the other classes who have the students who tried out have been given this same list and are at this moment reading the results to them. So read the list, Connor shouts, getting up from his desk. If classroom behavior were a determining factor for making the team, Connor, you might be in trouble. Please quiet down for a moment, Mr. Deming says. That shuts him up, and he sits down heavily. First of all, I'm very proud of all of you who took the test. It was quite challenging, and you all did extremely well. Rose raises her hand. Yes, Rose? Can we see the questions and answers later so we know where we messed up? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we'll use this test as a learning tool to study for the real competition, but anyone is free to see the test and check their responses. Please read the names, Connor says, as politely as I've ever heard him. Mr. Deming smiles. Okay, will do. I shall read the alternates first. 2 fifth graders, 2 from 6th grade. Amanda Firestone, Molly North, Elena Rodriguez, Rodney Mosul. My heart falls into my shoes, which is not quite on the floor, but close. How could I have missed so many questions? Maybe my thumb slipped and I pushed the wrong letters? Catherine squeezes my hand. Molly and Rodney screech with joy. Amanda and Elena are 6th graders. Connor is noticeably quiet. And now, Mr. Deming continues, the names of the 4 students who scored the highest and will represent our school at the local competition downtown. The alternates will accompany them and will be called upon it if any of the team members are unable to participate in any way. Are we ready? Ready, Connor says softly. I notice he has his fingers crossed behind his back. I'm proud to report that all 4 are from our classroom. To know all the finalists are from 5th grade blows me away. Way to go. We torch 6th grade? Awesome, Rodney says. Okay, now read the names before Connor wets his pants. Connor reaches over and smacks Rodney on the back of his head. Mr. Deming takes a deep breath. The top 4 scorers and members of our quiz team will be Connor Bates. Connor interrupts him with a wild whooping cheer, of course. And if I may continue, Mr. D says over his glasses, we are also pleased to welcome Claire Wilson and Rose Spencer. Claire's smile is smug. But that's only 3, Connor says, looking around in confusion. I can't count, Connor, Mr. Deming replies dryly. Who's the last person on the team? Molly asks. Earthquake report. TV weather guy says, feel some strange activity coming from a local school. Could it be a girl's heartbeat pounding too hard? Mr. Deming clears his throat. I must apologize. I think we have all underestimated a member of our class. Earthquake report. This is the big one. He continues. In my 15 years of running this competition, I have never had a student make a perfect score on the practice test. It is designed to be challenging to weed out the weaker candidates. In a word, it's hard. Tell me about it, Connor mumbles. When Melody Brooks took that little practice quiz with us last week, I thought it was a lucky accident that she did so well. But yesterday, Melody blew us all away. She got every single question right. He pauses, making sure everyone is taking this in, and then he says, all of them. Earthquake report. Walls are tumbling everywhere. So, she's on the team? Rose asks, disbelief in her voice. Yes, she's on the team. But we'll look weird, Claire counters. Everybody will stare at us. I'm not going to have any of that kind of talk. Do you understand? Mr. D says sternly. I'm very proud of Melody. I regret I underestimated her, and I'm glad to have her on our team. Earthquake report. Call the paramedics. A girl in 5th grade is about to explode. Everybody in the class turns to look at me. Catherine gives me a hug. Rose flashes me a smile. And I try not to kick and drip and make my teammates sorry that I'll be on the team with them. Will the Whiz Kids folks be cool with Melody? Molly asks. Mr. Deming looks thoughtful. I'll contact the quiz team officials and let them know about our special circumstances, he says, but that's no concern of yours. Now, listen up. Team members will meet every day after school for 2 hours for the next 2 weeks, right up until the first competition. Practice sessions are mandatory. Here is paperwork for your parents to read and sign. I need it back tomorrow. Earthquake report. Expect big aftershocks. Nothing like this has ever been seen before. The more I think about it, the more excited I get. Television. Pressure. People looking at me. I can feel myself getting tense and tight. My arms and legs start doing the tornado spastic dance. My head jerks. I try not to screech, but I do, just a little. Everybody turns at the sound. I can see Molly and Claire jerking their hands, kicking their legs, and making crazy noises. A few people giggle. Mr. Deming's face grows tight. I aim all my energy at my thumb and point to go. Catherine gets the message and hurries me out of there. I want to find a hole and hide in it.